reptiles. Beautiful reptiles. Hello friendlings, this is Claude from Chicago and we are back with another Planet Zoo time-lapse video. And today was a suggestion by a lot of people that wanted to see a reptile house here in FredTopia Zoo. Now make sure you hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. We play a variety of games here on this channel like Planet Zoo, Planet Coaster, Minecraft, and some action games as well. But today we are building the reptile house, and we do about 50% of it. This first section you see me doing here will not be completed in today's episode, but the exterior is. I would recommend people before you start making a huge project, you should probably do the roof last. I always forget about that. Also, we live stream these on Twitch, so if you want the full unedited live stream, you can just check us out over there at Claude from Chicago, as well as our other socials. Now that that's out the way, we built this beautiful building here, and we just duplicated around. As you see here, it's not a perfect, they're not back to back, but we duplicated around, just giving it a very unique shape, something that I'm not used to doing. But as you see across the street or across the road there, you see the other interior, which is our snow animals. And that's sort of gone it's kind of growing as we go. And I just love how that turned out. Now, there will be a second part to this reptile house, hopefully soon, which we'll be doing more out exterior and the other half of it. So that'll be coming out, hopefully, the next Planet Zoo video. And I know these Planet Zoo videos don't come out as frequently as a lot of you would like, and I'm sorry for that, but I've been so busy with school and work, it's been taking me a lot of time with that. Now, speaking of school and work, I'll actually be done with school coming this by the time you see this by the time you see this video, it will be, I have like 2 days left, or that's May 2nd is that Sunday's the last actual day I have for class, so we're almost there. Now I will be taking a summer class, but that's only gonna be one, and usually with one class it's quite easy to do college if you're doing 1-2 classes, but if you're going full time it's very stressful. So I do appreciate everyone's hope and waiting for all that. I do really appreciate it. But getting back into Planet Zoo. Oh, by the way, before I forget, we just announced today, as of recording this, that May is Minecraft month. We will still be having Planet Zoo and other games like that, but the big games on the stream weekends will be Minecraft, so make sure you check that out. But inside here, I wanted to do 4 exhibits here for frogs. There's only 3 frogs in the base game, and I put a snail at the end of the last exhibit. I just thought that this would be a very cool and simple idea. Now, the zoos that I go to, I usually do not go to the reptile houses to see these animals, and their habitats are not as nice as these in this game. They're usually just they're probably about 50% of this, and it's just like a little hole you can look through, and it's nothing. So I'm actually quite happy that these are here. If this was sort of the stuff I would see at my zoo, or the zoos around me, or the zoos that I've went to, I definitely would look in here. It's very hard to see these animals. It's very realistic. Obviously, Planet Zoo and Planet Coaster are known for their realism, and it's really hard to see them. So when we go to the glamour shots later on, we don't even record them in the glamour shots, but when I look at them in the live section, it is a little bit difficult, but they are definitely beautiful animals. So we do change up the habitats. There will be one frog has 4 or 5 frogs in the habitat. I believe it is the yellow one. Yeah, I think it's the yellow one. There's about 4 or 5 in there. The rest of them are single frogs. They only want one insect or frog in their habitat, and the same thing with the snail, which we put at the end over here. Not sure why they want it like that. It just is how it is, so we do it that way. On the outside of all of these viewing areas, you do see me put down some of those educational signs there. That's very typical for a regular zoo, so I wanted to keep that in there. And you see a couple guests coming down here. Now, I'm not sure if this is just because the reptile house is just kind of like boring or something to the guests, but the guests do not want to walk down here. So as you don't see here, because that's what I'm waiting for part 2, I am planning on building a food court on the other side and put some other animals in too. So maybe that'll bring out so we're guests. But in here, I wanted to do something very unique and custom. I thought this wasn't supposed to be the plan, but we decided to do it anyways. But we decided to put in 2 alligators here. I cannot remember the one name, but there's a saltwater crocodile, and then there is an alligator. Yeah, it's a saltwater crocodile and then an alligator. I think I cannot remember, but I'll pull it up on screen right now. But those are the names of these. I'm just gonna call them alligators. But yeah, I thought this was a really cool idea and a cool design. It definitely turned out well. I think if I did this again, I would definitely plan on making this a little bit better. This sort of came off the cuff, but this is going to be a habitat where it is split straight down the middle, and inside of there will be a glass wall, and the alligators can swim around in their sections and they won't interact with each other. And plus, the guests will be able to walk along the top of it and see both alligators. And there's a little island too we'll be putting here in a second. Right now we're making the backstage behind the area scene so that if you needed to adjust the alligators or the crocodiles, like cleaning the habitat or anything like that, you lock them in there and then do your business. There's only 1-to-1. They are both males. Just because I didn't think we could probably put more, but I only put 1 of them in. I just think for this habitat, even though it is quite large, for us viewing it, it is actually small for them. So I didn't want to cram too many in there and then have the animal protesters come on, and even though our animals are living like kings, eating all the time. But it's fine. It's fine. So there is me splitting it up and trying to do some work real quick, trying to get these islands smoothed out. If you do not know, in Planet Zoo, you can only terrain stuff without water. So it is very, very annoying and tricky, but you just gotta do it like that. You gotta put the water in, check where the water is, then remove the water, fix your height level so that that little island is coming over the top, and just keep repeating that until you get it down. Now, it is a very tricky thing. It's a very annoying thing, which they should be able to fix, but the reason why they do that is so yeah, they do that because the animals would freak out. I think it's something with their AI. If you're curious on how we're doing the walls, glass straight down the middle, we do a chain link just sort of so that the alligators can see each other if they wanted to. They probably would like every so often. And then I just used a null barrier on the outside so that the guests wouldn't see it. Those null walls do really come in great handy because animals in this game will not go through walls. Guests will, but animals will not. So you can actually get a lot of cool things going around. Now there you see me messing with that little wall there. Good thing we stopped recording there and put it in. And then that took me forever to figure that out because it was not letting me place the alligator in and the water. So I had to fix that there. I wanted to keep this as open as possible. So I decided to just not use very many walls on the interior. Just wanted it to be this big, warm, hot room you would walk into. And you just see these beautiful alligators just swimming around and doing their thing. Here is some sand we put on the other side, and then we put all their food items so where the the custodians can reach, so they can just get it real quick. There is a blood scent thing there on the middle island. I don't know if that cannot be refilled, so I might actually have to delete that. For greenery work, we keep it pretty simple. We put some rocks down and put some brush down. The other salt water, I think it's the one on. I'm sorry, I can't remember their names, but this side doesn't want very many green things. They want them sort of laid out. And then on this side, This one wants a ton of greenery stuff. Now, the one on the right gets a little bit mad because it kind of bleeds over, but it's fine. I think they'll be fine. They're living in this very high class area. They can definitely live with a little bit more greenery. But yeah, I wanted to add as much customization as we can. Now, this is something that I was not planning on doing. I was going to keep everything the same height level for the park, sort of like you would see in a real place, everything pretty same. But our longtime viewer, the longest viewer here on this channel, one of the longest viewers here on this channel is Cripsa200. He suggested to do a nice glass dome roof, I would call it. Something I did not think about, but it made this building just a million times better inside and outside. And look at how large and huge it feels. We do some very little details on the inside with like these statues and stuff like that. So that's a suggestion just by watching on the live stream that I would have never thought about. So I do really appreciate everyone watching live. And even if you are not watching live and you see something that I should go back and change, just comment down below. I am definitely open to doing stuff like that. It really helps out the channel and makes the zoo look really well. Now, when the zoo is completed, whenever it is, it will be put on the workshop for you guys to come down here and you guys can do your own completion. So we'll be going to the live section in a second, Fredlings. I hope you enjoyed this time lapse. Let's go to live section and glamour shots at the end. Fredlings, I hope you enjoyed that time lapse here today. Now, this is the reptile house. Took 2 weeks to do one part of this. It's a fantastic build. As you see here, there is a nice, beautiful glass section that's popping off, which is something that we don't have in any of these other habitats. This is actually the first one that actually goes, or building that goes taller than the height restriction. So this is currently the tallest building in the zoo, which is super awesome to have. That was our longtime subscriber, Cripsa, and Twitch subscriber as well, coming on here with that idea. But when we come inside a reptile house, it's very bland. We'll be adding some more details next time for part 2. When you come on inside here, you see all the animals that should be eventually housed in here. But on this side, we have not done anything, which will be turned into food court and a couple other animals as well. But let's take a look at this. So when you come inside, you see the beautiful silhouettes. There are lights on the wall that work at nighttime. But you come inside here, and you can see the beautiful animals in here. We have 3 frogs, as well as 1 giant snail. You see the frogs on the side over here. This is the yellow poisonous frog, if I am correct. Their habitat got a little bit shook recently. Let me see if I can adjust their side, because the one wall was supposed to be it's supposed to be a 3D facing wall. Here we go. Those frogs probably got yeeted, but the yellow poisonous frog is in this habitat. There's 4 of them. This is one of the only frogs that like the ability to be next to each other, so we wanted to add a bunch of them in there. There are 4 of them in there. They got some misters and all of that. It looks really nice in here. Coming over here, we have the Goliath. The Goliath frog. It is a nice thick boy somewhere in here. It's hard to see these habitats. The reptile houses are one of the things that we've been putting off for a while because it's not really something that I am accustomed to. I mean, I go inside them, but I'm not accustomed of trying to sit here and find them because they actually like to hide. I assume they're pretty stressed out as well, so he's somewhere in here. If you could spot him, I'll give you a nice high five because I cannot find him. Let's move over to the what is this? I have no idea what this is. I thought this was something else. Yeah, the Lehman's poisonous frog. It's this red, black, stripe-looking thing. Once again, it's just like real life. Shouldn't be walking in there with this poisonous frog somewhere, but I am. Gotta be brave sometimes. Oh, there it is. There it is. Look at how small that is. It's even glitchy. Look at how small that is. Oh my goodness. Crazy small. I kind of want to see where this Goliath one is too. The Goliath one actually is a little bit better camouflage, but I thought he was thick. There he is. Look at that. I knew we could find him. Look at that. Beautiful. He is a Goliath. Oh my goodness. But yeah, they blend in so well. You gotta really be careful. I don't know how people find these things in the wild and be like, oh, you know, I'm gonna pick this red thing up, even though it's poisonous. But yeah, that's very beautiful animals. Just something I would not actually want to touch. And then over here we have the giant, I think this is called the giant tiger land snail. We didn't have 4 frogs, so I wanted to add a snail, which is something generally the same. There it is. Okay. After a couple seconds of looking, we found it on the tree here. But there's actually a lot of education here that a lot of people come in here and do enjoy the Plankoians. Got a lot of signs in it. It is in their own language, by the way. They have their own language, the Plankoian language. So one of the big reasons for today's episode is we have 2 crocodiles. We have the gharial crocodile over here eating his frozen fish, as well as the saltwater crocodile on the other side. But before we watch them do their own thing, we can come on back here, and this is the staff hallway and stuff like that. It's pretty small. It's not super detailed, but it is a little bit more detailed than we normally would do for this interior. But this is the huge, beautiful dome. Like I said, our subscribers on Twitch came up with this beautiful idea to come up with this dome. It has beautiful ray tracing ability in here. You have people coming down here. It has a separating wall. Here's the saltwater crocodile on this side. Great viewing advantage as well. But there's only one of each in here. We could probably add a couple more, but I just wanted to keep it a little bit sort of laid back. But each side has this nice little island in the middle. Is what we would call this. Let me exit and go into free cam over here, so we can get a little bit better of a view. We have these little islands in the middle, which sometimes, here we go, these guys will come up here and hang out. There's a little bit of a blood scent here. The gharial crocodile really loves this. Kind of looks like the crocodile from Peter Pan. But yeah, they have a nice big tank in here. The water is actually independently different. So if I took out the water for this side could be up and running, the vice versa. There are sandbars on the side, my chat is saying right now, which has some greenery, some palm trees being native to their side. This tree, I'm not a big fan of this tree, to be honest with you. So I'm going to delete it because I actually do not like this. I kind of like it being a little bit open, maybe having that palm tree repeated over here, but this has a little spot where they can hang out, relax away from the keepers. Don't want to mess with the crocodiles or them, but they're just hanging out here, living in their nice little habitat here. I really like this dome. This is like by far fantastic. It can be quite laggy if your PC's not fantastic, but it is 100% worth it if it is. We added some educational signs that do blend into the side over here. There's a couple down there as well. If you see them, you can see them. And then in here, we were unable to add the little walls, but in theory, pretend there's like a pullable gate down again, so you can take care of the maintenance of the crocodiles or the gharial when they need to have the tank enclosure cleaned or anything like that. But this has been a fantastic 2 weeks recording and putting this together. If you want to see anything specific on Planet Coaster or Planet Zoo coming up soon, let me know in the comment section down below. We're going to be jumping into some glamour shots, and hopefully we can have part 2 done next week or the week after. If not, part 2 of the Reptile House will be coming soon, which will be reptiles, spiders, anything that is in sort of a reptile house. We'll try to be able to get it in there. So thank you so much, Friendlies, for watching, and remember, a real friendly makes their own luck.